share positive things from the week. I'm super excited because I get to host tonight's Family Time call. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Annie Buffins. Been in the business now for 3 years, current global expansion team member. 3 years ago, or 3.5 years ago rather, I decided that I wanted change in my life. So I'll just tell you guys a little bit about my story thus far. I decided that I was like completely fed up with how I was living, emotionally messed up, physically gained 40 pounds in a year and a half. I was drinking, I was smoking, I was partying, and I just wasn't feeling good about myself inside or out. I got in the gym, found Herbalife, lost 25 pounds, fell in love with the products. The business opportunity was presented to me, and I was like, yes, I love to help people. I was already doing it, so it was just feeling good to just put some money on top of it. Decided to go like full in with the business a year into the business, and then that's where we got to where we at now 3 years later. So I'm super excited to host tonight's call. I got this thing on like not speaker view, like gallery view, and there's so many cameras on. Hey Kayla, hey Lacey, hey Dominique, hey Trier. It's so nice to just see so many like beautiful smiles on here. Y'all are just like showing up all the way, and it means a lot to me because not only me, but the person who's going to be speaking to us tonight, we're feeding off your energy. So when we see y'all's faces like completely alert and just like taking notes, or completely just like not doing a whole bunch of other stuff while the call is on, it says a lot. And like I said, we feed off y'all energy. So I just want to say I appreciate all the people who can have your camera on, have it on, not just this call but every call from here on out, if it's possible, have your camera on, not only for the speaker, but for yourself too, so that you're actually tuned in and you're not just on the call, but you're on the call. So like I said, it's Sunday, and it's my favorite day of the week because we get to do some positive shares and kind of connect with each other. So if you have anything positive that happened to you this past week that you'd like to share with us, I think you guys can go ahead and raise your hand. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and raise your hand in the app, and we'll get these positive shares going. While y'all are thinking of what your positive share is going to be, I'll share mine. So yesterday, we had our SCS here in Atlanta, and I had the opportunity to go on stage and share just a portion of the SCS me and Seven got to do, and it was bomb. The energy in SCS just in general was amazing because I had a lot of invites along with the team having their teams there and invites, and it was just like the whole energy of the SCS. And if y'all knew about the Atlanta SCS, it's been kind of shaky. But if you weren't if you didn't know that, you wouldn't know. Just because of the positive vibes in the community, like it really, really showed, and it really was able to pull our guests to show our guests what Herbalife is all about. Not only that, but I got to go on stage with Seven, and that was just like really special to me because it kind of just like foreshadowed what the rest of our lives are going to be like. So not just together, but just the impact that we do. So that was my positive share. It was like amazing, amazing, amazing to me. But Steven, yeah, I don't even want to talk about the slides from yesterday on the whole entire SDS, but nonetheless, the SDS was popping. So that's all that matters. With Mackenzie, with the KINSEY and the Buckbert and all the other things that was going on, it was a lot. But anyways, let's get these positive shares going.
Oh, hey. So my name is Rachel. I was also at the Atlanta STS, and my positive share for the week was, one, I earned my largest check in Herbalife this week, and I also finished the qualification for the sponsorship and mentoring, because now I have 2 supervisors and 2 qualifiers for DAP, so that's amazing. And my Indiana was able to get recognized at her STS, and that's really my positive shares, seeing everybody win.
What's up, guys? Mackenzie here, Virgin Islands Fit Couple. Super excited because we got to be on stage Saturday speaking. Yes, Mackenzie, MCKIN, all that other stuff. And it was very exciting. Also, we got to get pinned by our sponsor on stage. So that was very exciting again. And just remembering that all of this was when we're back in the room 8 months before. And now 8 months later, we were, on the stage. Where he at? Steven, you saw I cut my hair too, so probably that's why they didn't recognize me. You know what I'm saying? But just excited. That's my share. I don't know if Rosie got a.
It was just an amazing feeling that leadership really pulled out those leadership qualities for us. It was amazing being on stage, having our own sections to share while being trained with other leaders. So it's just a great feeling now.
Yeah.
I think that set the pace for a lot of stuff for us.
That's it.
Hey y'all, so it's Tay. My positive share is about Atlanta STS, which was yesterday. Like they were talking about. I actually got a chance to go on stage for a panel, which was super dope. I was nervous, but it was definitely time. It's definitely time to start getting uncomfortable. Also, with me intentionally starting to work my social media now, I intentionally did my invites for STS. I intentionally did my invites for Fit Camp. And it was dope to have 3 people show up yesterday and then to have my friend sign up as a preferred member today. So that just shows me, like, with me being more intentional in what I'm doing on social media is actually working. And so, yeah, I'm just super excited. My team has been doing amazing too. So I'm just excited about a lot.
Hey everybody, it's Coach Raven in Atlanta. So I also did go to the Atlanta STS this weekend. And I just want to say that when we first got in there, we sat to the back of the room and the energy was completely different from where we normally sit in the front of the room. And that was because we was late, of course. So that was a lesson learned within itself. But to just see the brave hearts and some of the Urban Ventures grow since the last STS was amazing. And everybody who got on the panel on stage, you would have thought it was already pre-planned for them to talk. Y'all did amazing. Y'all spoke very professionally and definitely had my client ready to join as a distributor. But one thing I did take away from the STS was everybody does Herbalife, but nobody does it like you. And that's just another way of saying, you know, to stay in your own lane. Like, we all have a mission to accomplish and a goal to hit, but again, nobody would do it like you. So that was my share. Thank you.
Hi guys, this is Leti out in California. Can you guys hear me? Can I get a thumbs up? Awesome. So we had Karen, who she's been in the business for, I think it was like 36 years. She's been in the business forever. So her and Mark Hughes were super close. We got to hear some stories that we'd never heard before on like just how Herbalife was named, and like we got to learn about Mark Hughes and like just deep down stories that were amazing, like even down to his grandparents. So we got to learn a lot about Mark, which was absolutely beautiful and very connecting for me. She also shared like some crazy numbers. Also, sorry, back up. Product wise, she explained the products so beautifully to the point where I'll share my notes with you guys, but the way she shared the products to me was like, wow, absolutely amazing. Also, back up. So she shared some numbers as for Herbalife. So our very first year in the business, we made $2 million. The second year was $10 million. The third year was $58 million. The fourth year was $140 million, and the fifth year was $500 million. So our growth rate was like 109%. We were the fastest growing company like ever. So it was absolutely amazing to like really see the numbers and just really see the impact that was being made already back then. And now today we're at a whole new crazy $8 billion company. So it was really awesome to just hear more deep down connecting information on Mark and on just how Herbalife really got founded. But yes, that's my share.
Oh my eye. Hey y'all, it's Seven. Sorry, I'm catching like a little cold. That's what's going on with my eye over there. But I had an amazing weekend at our success training seminar. The first thing was I got to be able to pin 2 supervisors front line. Rachel already had some best defense. Pin 2 supervisors front line. So that felt amazing to me. I can't wait for them to look at this. Annie's phone ringing. Can't wait for them to hit world team. Sorry about that, y'all. That threw me off. But the best part of the training was that my team was there and they was able to get their own vision. So that was really huge for me. A lot of them left. I was able to put one of my supervisors on stage and give her the opportunity to see what the vision was that she wanted for herself. And the biggest thing was that I was able to share the stage with my fiance. So that was like a big vision for us to be able to see like what was to come as far as us hitting stages in the future, as press team or something like that. But so I had an amazing weekend overall, and I was able to see the whole, like Raven said, the whole Urban Avengers, Bravehearts, everybody grow as a family, because a lot of us that was there 6 months ago as like supervisors, senior consultants, whatever, was there at higher pins and growing and learning and a part of production. So I had an amazing weekend. Thank you for letting me share.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Adrian. So, current active world team. I see the time is getting close for the speaker, so I'm gonna make this quick. One, I'm appreciate every one of y'all for showing up. Two, I'm grateful for Steven sticking with everything, because without my boy, none of us would be here. Thirdly, I'm really grateful for Struggle right now, because your boy can snap every fucking hour of the day. But I'm grateful for it because I know growth don't come without it. So, and also I have now a 1-year-old, so that's wild to me, and she crazy. So yeah.
Aw, Adrian, that just made me happy for some reason. I don't know. Hey everyone, my name is Kayla. I'm out in the Inland Empire, California, and a lot of great things happened this week. I also got my biggest check in our life. I've made a lot of money with retail, but I can honestly say I've never gotten over 199 in a check. So that was really dope. And for me, that's really important because it's not even about me making the money. It's about knowing how I can teach someone else how to make that for themselves. I also had STS this weekend, and we had Carla Ignolia, which is the same speaker that Leti was talking about. And for me, like the takeaway that I had was more about who she is as a person. She's a really goofy person, and I had to slap myself on the hand for judging her because I thought because she was older, I wasn't going to learn anything in the way that, I don't know, I learned, but she really was me on stage. And I think that was really powerful because as soon as you see yourself on stage and another person, it makes it all the more possible for you to have a bigger vision and what you want to achieve. So last thing, don't put aloe in hot water. I learned that. I'll never do it again. Thank you. Oh, don't put aloe in hot water because it breaks the properties of it. Sorry.
Hey guys, it's Kim from Atlanta. I was also at the STS, and 2 things. One, my check was not my biggest, but it has definitely grown because I kind of fell off and was focusing on retail rather than growing my check, but it is growing, so I'm very grateful for that. And also, from STS, the section that hit me the most was the N for personal development. And the quote that hit me most was, learn to be happy with what you have while you pursue what you want. I think we're just so stuck on like what we have and like not where we're going and being terrified of it and just like trying to just hold on to everything. And that was another thing that was preached hard was let go. Like there's certain things that you just have to let go to grow. And I think that's like a trial that I'm like going through right now. So that hit the most, but just the overall STS, like, you'll always hear things multiple times, but there'll be a time that you'll hear it again and it's gonna hit home like you never heard it before. And you're like, wow, I heard that so many times, but it hits now, but it's because whatever you're going through in your life. But I'm super grateful. It was very powerful. And we're moving to a new location soon, which is amazing because that means we're packing the house. So yes, and I'm ready for a powerful week. Thank you.
The STS has definitely grown like crazy over the past, well, since I've been going to STS for 2 years. So I'm excited about that new building too. But thank you everybody for all your shares. Kayla, you did not have to drop that aloe thing. Now you got everybody going crazy talking about it's like you almost broke hearts with that drop, like especially mine, because I was over here like, I'm still doing it just because I love hot tea. But yeah, you ain't have to do us like that. Anyways, thank you everybody for your shares, and it's just really good to hear like the good space that everybody's in. Because the good things that's going on in this business, and it's just our businesses together, and specifically in this org. But anyways, gonna go ahead and introduce our guest speaker for the night. Super excited. This is somebody that I've been like growing alongside in this business. She's a current Global Expansion Team member, building for so much more. I learn from her I get the opportunity to learn from her every single week on another call that we have for the TAB team. Y'all get to the spot because that call is fire. But I get to opportunities to learn from her every week. And that's kind of the reason why I wanted her to speak on here, because I know that I get to take away so much. So I wanted to invite her on here to speak with y'all. So if y'all could, for me, please fire up the chat. I'm going to pass it over to current Global Expansion Team, Sarah Fader, going for so much more. Go ahead and give it up. At the end, I think we're going to have some time for question and answer, y'all. So make sure that the questions are good. And make sure y'all take notes.
What's going on, guys? How is everybody? I want to see everyone's faces if you can. I actually don't know many people on this call. This is like super awesome to be able to have fresh faces. So I first of all want to thank you, Annie, for giving me the opportunity. I love connecting with new people, especially, with Herbalife. We're all over everywhere. So being able to have friends and network with people in different states and countries is absolutely a beautiful thing. We can go to any state, any city, and pretty much have somewhere to stay. So it's pretty legit. So today I'm going to go ahead and just hop right into it. I have so many things that I want to share with you guys. And like she said, have the opportunity for questions at the end. The only thing that I'm going to ask of you guys is to just be open to everything that I'm saying. Be open and, take what you want and leave what you don't. You're not always going to be in alignment with every person that you hear speak about the business, but you may find one thing you may be in alignment with. So agree with what you don't, agree with what you want, whatever it is for you, but I hope that you will get lots of value from this. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. So I actually joined the business when I was 18 years old. I was in college. I was a student at the university here in San Antonio. I live in Texas, obviously. And I was into fitness. I was a cheerleader at the university, and I started getting into fitness in December of 2015. And I was posting fitness photos. I was posting things at the gym. And my mom pretty much was like, hey, there's this lady Antonio, and she's from our hometown. You should totally get with her and work out. And she was about 20 years older than me. And I was like, Mom, stop trying to set me up on a play date. I can make my own friends. So I kind of brushed my mom off. Well, then 4 or 5 months later, this lady, which was the same lady I didn't even know, commented on my Instagram picture in the gym. And she said, hey, this is super awesome. You should come work out with me. And I said, you know what the heck, I'll go. And this was in March. So we ended up texting, and we were talking about going to work out together. And she said, okay, me and my boyfriend, we work out on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. And I bailed her the first couple of times, and I eventually said, you know what, I'm going to go. Because I had just moved to San Antonio. I was super young, and I was like, you know what the heck, I'll go. So I thought it was going to be just me, her, and her boyfriend going to like a Gold's Gym or a commercial gym. Guys, I showed up there. It was 25 minutes from campus. So I thought I was going into a weird part of town. I thought I was going to get kidnapped or something. I thought maybe I should have brought somebody with me. And then I showed up, and there were 300 people at this fit camp. I had no clue this was a fit camp. There were 300 people there, and I pulled up and I said, what the heck is this? I don't work out in groups. I don't want to do this, but I was already kind of sucked into it, so I couldn't leave. So they pulled me around to the back, and it was like at a CrossFit gym. And they said, okay, do you want orange cream, mint chocolate, or cafe latte? There were only 3 flavors of shakes. And I was a completely different person in 2016. I was like, I don't like coffee. Who likes orange anything? And I hate mint chocolate. I said, I don't want a shake. And they said, you know what? It's already paid for. You might as well get one. So I orange cream. Ended up loving it, by the way. But I'll never forget, after the fit camp, after I got my butt kicked, literally, I was sitting in the crowd, and they were sharing their stories. They were sharing their, result stories and their income stories. And I don't remember really anything about the result stories. All I was that a couple got up to the front, and they were parents of 2. The one lady was down about 60 pounds, and she said that her and her husband had made $1,000 the previous month in Herbalife. And I was broke. I didn't have any money in my bank account until the next day. I was getting $200 in my bank account for support financially for being in college. And all my financial aid refund money from January had run out. And when I saw that this couple had made $1,000, I said, what the heck are they doing? Are they just coaching these fit camps? And so I went up to the person that invited me, and they said, let's meet up tomorrow and we can get you going. I was super, super interested. And I ended up going to their house the next day, and they said that at the time it was 71.71. I'd only tried a shake. And I said, do I have to pay that all right now? Because I only have $200 to my name. And they said, yes, you have to pay that all right now. And I just passed the card and I said, here, take it. If it's going to be able to help me be in health and fitness and do what I love to do and make $1,000 a month, I'll do it. I had no idea I was going to be selling a product. I had no idea what I was doing. I literally just believed because I heard a story that was impactful. It wasn't $10,000. It wasn't anything crazy. It was just $1,000 that really inspired me to start this business. I was 18, guys. I signed my life away. I married Herbalife when I was 18, and I'll never forget that day. It was April 1st of 2016. Guys, it took me just a couple weeks to really get going, to really understand the vision. But once I saw it, and I've been going hard since that day, since the end of April. I was able to hit supervisor in 2 months. That's when it was 4,000 to supervisor. And my first check was $34. My third check was $849. Guys, when I say that you can be any age, come from anywhere, have any type of background and earn income in this company, it's true. There really is no excuse because it's out there for you to go get. So after that, after I saw what was possible, I said, I want to do this forever. And mind you, I was in college with my biological dad over my head saying, you need to get your PhD, you need to get your PhD, you need to get your PhD. And that's the goal that I had for my whole life. There was only one plan. It was to go, and it was to get my doctorate, because that's what was going to have security. That's what I had been taught my whole life. And so when I found this opportunity and I found no cap to your income and you could make an impact on people's lives, I was like, why the hell not? So, like I said, been going hard ever since that day. You know, my checks really over the first year ranged around like $500 to $700. Nothing was really changing. I'd bring people into the business, they'd fall out. I'd bring people into the business, they'd fall out. And I was wondering why the heck I couldn't sustain a team. I could retail. I was hitting 5K every single month, but it wasn't going to get me to Active World Team. It wasn't going to get me to Press Team. I was like, what the heck am I going to do? And I realized that I wasn't building relationships with people. I was too concerned with Sarah that I wasn't concerned enough with helping other people. And as soon as I shifted my mindset into helping other people, that's when people started to stick. So in 2017, that's when everything really started to change for me. So talking about my mindset shift, in October of 2017, I went to an LDW that will forever have changed my life. Jill Addy was the guest speaker and someone else I don't remember. And the way that she graced the stage was so powerful. I've never seen a woman so graceful yet powerful. And it made me realize what type of woman I aspired to be like. She was so soft-spoken, so feminine. But when she spoke with power, and it was not a lady that you wanted to mess with. And I was like, how does she have these awesome qualities? And I was so inspired. And she kept saying things about, you know, to get where you want to be, you have to do things that are uncomfortable. Leaders do what, what's that quote? Leaders do what others aren't willing to do, but they're also willing to do the right thing even when other people won't go with you. Doing the hard thing. And understanding people aren't always going to go with you. leaders doing the right thing, even if they're standing alone. And I was like, damn, that's real. So I knew that there were some shifts that I needed to make in my business in October 2017. And the shift that I needed and decisions I needed to make were super uncomfortable. Super uncomfortable. I didn't want to make them. I knew that what I wanted to create for my organization, and I wasn't. I had all these, I wasn't acting upon them. So many ideas, and I knew what I had inside of me, and I said, you know what? I can't. There's no way. My ideas are going to get shut down. No one's going to want to do them, et cetera, et cetera. And the day I said, you know what the heck? I'm going to go for it anyway. Scared, is the day everything started to change. So I'm going to back up a couple months before then. Me and my frontline, Deasia, she was one of the only people that stuck with me since I joined the business. And I don't know how with me, because I was a completely different person a couple years ago. She has watched me, transform into a new person. But we decided to do a 90-day plan together. And this is going to kind of roll into the 90-day plan portion of this. So we decided to do a 90-day plan together. And of course, there were certain things like sending out messages and face-to-faces. But the one big thing that we decided to do together was to do 2 HOMs a week online. This is before online HOMs were really a thing. Now they're a huge thing, which is incredible. But before they were really a thing, we decided we were going to do 2 HOMs a week. And mind you, I was a world team member. She was just a supervisor. And we really didn't know what the heck we were doing. We just heard someone at Extravaganza say that they had done that. So we were going to just do the same thing. So we were doing them every Monday and Wednesday for 90 days, showing up no matter what. Sometimes there were people on, sometimes there weren't. Even if there wasn't anybody on, we were still playing full out and doing the HOM full out. And nothing was happening in those 90 days. Nothing. We weren't growing. We didn't have that many new distributors, and there wasn't a lot of momentum, but we said we're going to show up anyway. And that was like September to November, right after Extravaganza, August to whatever. It was in those 9 days in between that time frame. When I tell you, when October LDW happened, that was right when the 90-day plan was ending. And that's right when I heard Jill Addy speak. And that's right when all these distributors started coming into the business. And that month I will never forget, because it changed our business forever. In October 2017, had that LDW. In November, I made an uncomfortable decision to do something that I did not want to do, but I knew I had to do, that other people weren't okay with, but I knew in my heart was the right thing. And in October, November, December, we went into massive momentum. The organization literally, I think in December, ended around 2,000 volume points or so. January 2018, we smashed Active World Team over 11,000 volume points in 1 month. The increase was crazy, guys. The royalties went up like crazy. We were having crazy amount of distributors come into the business. We were having crazy supervisors pop in this business. People coming out of nowhere. The organization did a crazy jump, all because we decided to stick to the HOMs for 90 days and consistently invite to the HOMs every single week, twice a week. Because of that momentum that we built up, we went straight from January Active World Team, February first cut a global expansion team, second cut a global expansion team, April fully qualified global expansion team. And we've been hitting those cuts ever since, except for 1 month. 90-day plans. Who's in a 90-day plan? Or how many of you have attempted a 90-day plan? How many of you have attempted a 90-day plan and failed? Guys, I can't tell you how many 90-day plans I've attempted and failed, like butchered. Too much stuff, not enough effort, whatever the case may be. But that one, I've completed 2 90-day plans. One was so simple, it was like 5 face-to-faces a day and 3 posts a day. And then the other one was the HOMs. I haven't fully successfully completed one since then. Started a couple since then, but not fully completed. But this is the thing about 90-day plans. They shine a light on your weaknesses. A lot of us think we're doing all this work, right? But then we get in a 90-day plan and we're realizing, oh snap, obviously I'm not being consistent with my posts because you're not checking that off, or my face-to-faces. Have you ever gotten home one day and you think, wow, I just did so much work, and you look down and it's like, oh my gosh, I sent 5 messages. Like, have y'all ever thought you just were so productive but you weren't, you were just busy? 90-day plans shine a light on your weaknesses is what you need to know, because Herbalife is going to shine a light on your weaknesses. You can't fake your way up the marketing plan. It just doesn't work that way. Some people can fake their way to even global expansion team, to be honest with you. As soon as I got to global expansion team, guess what I got to do? I started to realize the things I get to work on about myself. Crazy. You think you're consistent with things until you get a 9-day plan. And then you say, okay, now what? Right? And, but the momentum that comes from a 90-day plan obviously works. Annie, were you in a 90-day plan up until when y'all hit Active World Team through Global Expansion Team? Yes. Same thing with us. Straight up to Active World Team, Global Expansion Team. Right? So whatever it is for you guys, either do it small or don't do something that's not going to work around your schedule. My 90-day plan wouldn't look the same as someone else that's part-time on here. I'm full-time. There's a lot more I get to do to get to the next level. If you have a full-time job, it may have to be different for you. That's okay. You don't get to compare your 90-day plan to someone else's, like, oh, I should be doing more work. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. You shouldn't be doing anything. You get to do what's best for you, as long as you're being consistent with it. Right? So I've been seeing, you know, I watch Annie's stories a lot, and I watch what you guys do. I know y'all have fit camps. I know y'all have things to plug into during the week. And something that I really wanted to talk about was being able to have something that's duplicatable, which y'all have, even whether it's local or whether it's not local. I'm sure each and every one of you has something to plug into around you. If you don't, you get to create something, right? Because everybody has created something. Straight up, if you have something to plug into, you're spoiled. Somebody got to create what you get to plug into. A couple years ago in Herbalife, 24-line didn't barely exist. Guess what? Someone got to create fit clubs and fit camps. They were in massive creation mode. I think now in Herbalife, people think that it's hard, but it's not hard. You have something to plug into. Utilize what you have. Plug into it. And if you're not plugging into it, if you're not plugging into the online HOMs, if you're not plugging into the fit camps, if you're not plugging into the calls, then what are you doing? Saying that it doesn't work? No, you don't work. Everyone has the same opportunity. And if an 18-year-old can do it, I guarantee you can do it. Guys, I look like a baby. I still look like a baby at 21. I'm 21. It's all how you perceive the opportunity. It's all how you go after the opportunity. It's all how you talk to people. Do you know the products? Do you have confidence? Do you really believe in it? Because I understand it. When my mindset shift happened, it's because I realized the power in my hands. That they say at Extravaganza all the time, don't underestimate the value and the power that's in your hands with this opportunity. Your life could look completely different next year. And the excuses gotta cut it. Because I've seen what Marianne, she's got like 4 or 5 kids, does crazy things in this business. And she's got 4 or 5 other lives to take care of. Right? How many of you are part-time? Great. Be part-time. It's going to teach you structure, value of your time, being able to create around what you already have. My upline, Sean Morton, he was literally in a full-time job up until after he had Global Expansion Team. If he can do it, why not you? Right? Think much bigger, much faster. How big your mindset is or how big your dreams are is going to duplicate to whatever you're trying to create. So for my organization, I think so big. I'm literally talking to my team about how we're going to be going, not celebrating here in San Antonio, but how we're literally all going to be changing pins together and going to Cabo and celebrating. And speaking that life, painting that vision for them. Today, I literally drove around with my friend in my front line, and we went and drove around a really nice neighborhood and talked about the homes we're going to get to have. How cool is that? If you don't see the value within this Herbalife opportunity, go talk to someone that's killing it and let them show you, like, literally, this is what's possible in this opportunity. You don't just have to look at everyone else and say, why not me? Like, why can't that be me? It can be you. All if you're willing to put in the work for it. Don't make it look like you're winning right now. Go out and win. Too many people get caught up in the hype and posting the living their best life ever on social media and this and that, but not putting in the work. I had a conversation with a good friend of mine the other day, and I said the same thing. I said, don't get caught up in posting living your best life ever, but you're really not. You're unhappy, or you're not going out there and putting in the work. Be so busy putting in the work that you almost forget to make your posts. The next point I have on here is listen to your coach. Listen to your coach. Listen to your coach. Guys, I was that stubborn person, like, I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Ask Sean. He would tell me something and I'd be like, dude, I know. I know, I know, I know. And guess what my front line came in the business saying? I know, Sarah. I know, I know. And I was like, oh my gosh, I duplicated this. What did I do? Listen to your coach. I promise you they're only trying to help you, whoever your coach is. Listen to your coach. The next thing that I'm going to say is whatever it is that you're wanting to bring in this business, or whatever you want in this business, you have to have intention and vision. Okay? If you want to be a full-timer, you cannot be full-time if you don't have intention and vision. For me, with my business, I said, I want an organization that's diverse. That's how you attract lots of people. You can't have an organization that's just one type of person. It's limiting. So for me, I said, I want this many strong frontline. I want a strong male in my business. I want someone that's kind of similar to me with a similar background. I want someone that's strong in the Hispanic market. And yeah, I'm thinking my post strong feeling. And another strong woman, right? Guess what? I have all those people in my front line right now. One is doing over 2,500 every month. 2 are doing over 7,500 every month. And 1 was just shy of 5K last month. All extremely strong leaders in this business. And they get to attract people like them because the intention was so strong of this is what I want in my business. My business is diverse. And it may take you a while to find those people. But when you find them, you'll find them. Your vision has to be so strong that no one can tell you otherwise, because you're not going to bring people along with you with a vision that's half empty, and you're not going to bring people along with you if they don't believe you. If you're not confident about where you're going, no one is going to want to go with you. No one's going to believe they're going to be able to go. Where are you going? How many years? Why Pres team? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for your team? How many people does that look like? How much money do you want to make? What kind of car do you want to drive? How many people do you want to be coming through your nutrition club? What does it look like? And speak that every day to yourself. Speak that every day to yourself. Wake up and say it. And be in super touch with why you're doing this business. And your why will change. It could go from you to your family. And honestly, it's going to eventually, a huge part's going to become your team. But even for me, the business and you know, never thought they were going to happen. That you think the same thing. It's just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if. because it could be anybody on this call. Guys, there's people that have done so well in this business and there's nothing special about them. They just go out and work hard. They may talk to more people. And I guarantee you everybody on this call has that same opportunity. There is no, well, Annie's just Annie. She's just a beast. She just does high volume. That's just her. I guarantee you Annie goes out and works. Annie pushes me. I see her volume. I'm like, all right, Sarah, we got to reevaluate. And those are the people you surround yourself with. If you're hanging out with anyone on this team and they're literally talking negative every day and saying, oh, it's okay if we don't do volume today or we don't get clients or whatever, you need to go find a new friend. Because those people don't want you to have your dreams, obviously. People get uncomfortable around people that are forcing them to grow. And sometimes it'll be your friends or the people you think are your friends. But you get the chance to level up. There's no doubt in my mind where I'm going. But something that was actually said this weekend on stage at our STS was, you cannot climb a mountain with people on your back pulling you down. It just doesn't work that way. And if you're the person in the group that's being negative and saying this or that, you get to check yourself. No problem. You get to change moving forward. I've been that person before that's been negative. And cool, moving forward, moving on. Because if you're not putting in the work or you're not waking up and you're saying, what am I going to do today for my dreams or my goals, your why is not strong enough. No one can make you do it but you. There's so many people in this opportunity that I'm sure you look at and you're like, dang, they have a similar story to me. They're killing it. What is the difference? The difference is the work. The difference is the effort. The difference is the vision. And some people just want it badly. And some people are okay with mediocre. But average has got to go out the door. Getting out of your own way. Stop being stubborn. Stop not wanting to go out and do invites. Stop not wanting to go out and talk to people. Would you rather be at your corporate job for the rest of your life for the next 20, 40 years? Or would you rather go talk to that person and change their life? Because maybe one day that person was you before you joined the business and someone had the courage to talk to you. And your diamond is out there right now, waiting for an opportunity. Guys, I had no idea that I needed this opportunity. No clue. I thought I had my whole life figured out. And someone just randomly hit me up one day. Crazy, right? It could be anybody. I'll never forget, I was 18, living at the dorms on campus. My sponsor doesn't really do the business anymore, but Sean's my second upline. I was about to go on a trip for school 2 days after I joined the business, and he said, when are you leaving? And I said, Tuesday. Drove all the way to the UTSA campus to give me samples. And I'm putting myself in the mind of him. Guys, he was, 31, 32 at the time, driving all the way to a college campus to give an 18-year-old samples because he just wasn't going to take a chance of not putting effort into that. He literally went in his car, gave me a half-open canister of beverage mix, gave me a couple protein bars, said, do you have an Herbalife shaker cup? I said, no. He went in his car, looked, found an Herbalife shaker cup. The eye was falling off of it. There was a lift off in it. I don't know how long that lift off was in there. He poured it on the side of the street, gave me some lift offs. I said, hey, bro, you can't hand those lift offs to me. People are going to think you're handing me some other stuff in the parking lot. And I literally had a couple products. I probably ate all the products on the trip. But regardless, the fact that he took the effort is probably the reason why I'm still in this business and didn't pass up on me. And I'll forever be grateful for that opportunity for him. So I could talk forever. I have so many points in here that I could go in on, but I do want to go ahead and open just up for questions and answers. I work a lot better with simplified questions. So, Annie, I don't know if you want me to hand it over to you, if I should just ask if anyone has a question to unmute and ask.
First of all, before we get into question and answers, of course, have to show some gratitude because you just like laid it out very simple for us. I know I got a page note, so I just want to say thank you. And we got a couple of people's hands raised, so I think we're going to go straight into those questions first. Wait, what just happened? Because I know I seen them.
I don't know what happened to them, but I'm going to go. And I just want to say thank you so much, because it's really, you know, the thing with Herbalife, when everything kind of comes in alignment and you hear everything like when you're supposed to. And I really appreciated the last part where you're saying like you can't climb a mountain with people on your back holding you down, because that's something that is like the hardest part when you're ready to grow, is letting go of people that like you wanted to hold on to. So I really am thankful that you actually said that, because that's really powerful and I needed that phrase. And like just being able to see your growth from when you were saying that in December you had a 2,000 and then in January you just like kicked in, like your team like grew to like 11,000. That's super duper powerful, because like I have intentions every almost call when there's a Get team member to like kind of track their numbers or like where they grew from. So thank you so much for sharing with us your journey.
Thank you so much.
I'm not sure what happened to those other two hands, but I know that one of them was Kim. So I'm sorry, Kim, but I seen it. So I hope you get it together so that you can get your question back.
Hey, let me make sure I was unmuted. I want to first just say thank you for coming to the call and pouring into us. I follow you on I follow you on social media, and for you being so young, your work ethic is just amazing. I know so many 18-year-olds, and coming into the business at 18 is just like amazing for you to see. So I wouldn't mind, because I know I have some of my younger team on the call, maybe you breaking down how you're able to carry a team so young, as well as having members that are older than you. So maybe if it's like, is it you just demand the respect that you would like, or is it a way you had to handle it, or was it something that you had to grow into with you being so young and so powerful in the business?
First of all, thank you so much. I follow you too, so you know, I get to watch your guys' journey all the time. But second, I mean, you know, I've definitely grown up a lot since I was 18. I've definitely matured a lot. Really, my shift was being about myself to being about others, and that just comes from how I grew up, like making sure I was good, like taking care of me because of just a lot of things that I went through. But to be honest, I really don't talk about my age too much. It's something that I actually talked about with Annie the other day. I was talking about us going to Future Pres next year and feeling like I'm going to be the youngest person there, and everyone's going to be like, who's this little girl here? And, you know, honestly, I think it's the way that you carry yourself and the way that I mean, for me, I take myself very seriously in the business. I actually have to work on relationships because I am so business oriented. I'm so numbers oriented. I'm so structured. I'm very business, and I get to work on the relationship aspect. So I don't think that I have to demand respect at all. I think that I just get to show up powerfully. And in doing that, my experience, I mean, of course, I don't know what everyone's thinking all the time, but my experience is that take me seriously because I take myself seriously. And I have lots of friends, I mean, that are way older than me in this business, and we're able to have those higher level conversations. And of course, I get to act my age sometimes, really, and, you know, have fun. Of course, I'm still 21, but at the same time, there is a mission. And, you know, for me, I have goals for my life, and my parents need me, and my future kids and family need me. And the way I show up now is everything. So, you know, honestly, I think it's just how I get to carry myself every day and how serious I get to take myself. I think that I'm just so motivated and so driven in this business that it shows up and comes off that way. Yeah, you teach others how to treat you, for sure. And being able to hold for the team in that aspect, I'm still learning how to do that. You know, the organization keeps growing and growing, and I'm realizing now that I get to move and act a lot differently to be able to hold for a bigger organization, and I get to learn those skills along the way. Thank you for your question.
So my hand was initially still raised from positive shares, but since I was called out, I will gladly show my appreciation for this call tonight. This is not the first time I've actually heard you spoken and been poured into by you. So I just want to say I really appreciate you being the light, the example, because of course, me being 28 and being able to watch you grow and hear where you've come from is a big eye opener, and it just basically still leaves no room for excuses. So thank you so much for pouring into us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so I have a personal question. It's kind of just what's your why and like what keeps you going and what keeps you just grinding the way that you do. You're obviously your head is on, obviously very, very strong. And for me, that was an issue being young. I know we don't like to talk about the age thing because if you weren't so short, we probably wouldn't even like short and little. We probably would be like, oh, just by you speaking is like definitely way older than what you are. But what kind of keeps you going and like staying away from the distractions of people our age? You get where I'm going with this question? Like,
yeah, no, for sure.
Into it, and then what's your why?
So, you know, I think originally, and this is just me going to be totally transparent with you all. I think when I first joined the business, I was lying to myself and saying I was doing the business for reasons I really wasn't. And this is going to sound super weird, but this is me just being transparent. I think I originally just joined the business because I wanted to be good at something. Like I wanted to be really good at something, and I didn't like I was being really good at anything, and I wanted to do something that had impact, and I wanted to do something that I could be good at. And I don't even really know when I originally started. I was very income driven. I was broke. And so that's, I think, the original reason I really started the business. And then when I started to learn about what a why was, it grew into my stepdad. So my stepdad actually, he had, since I was 1.5, my mom got pregnant with me on accident. And she fought for my life with my biological dad, who wanted to actually abort me when he found out my mom was pregnant. And so, grateful for all my parents in every which way. They're only human and doing the best that they can. But, when my stepdad became my dad, my mom had me, and she had my other sister. And so he had no kids, he had no wife, and he took on 3 women at the same time. And he married all of us. And so he traded in his sports car for a family car, and he became my dad. And my parents always made sure to give us everything we had. You know, we weren't rich. We didn't have all the things the other kids had, but we had shoes on our feet and clothes on our back and food in our mouths. And, just grateful for everything that we did have. We lived in a mobile home in the country for some years, and then we couldn't afford living so far away. So we moved to the city in a small little home. And I never felt like I wasn't taken care of. And now that I look back on it, I realized there were a lot of things that my friends did that we didn't do, but I never thought that we were broke. I never thought those things. And so understanding now as an adult that my parents we never went on vacation, and we didn't get new clothes all the time. And, we just didn't do those things. And that was normal for me. And so when I realized that my dad never bought new shoes for himself, new clothes for himself, my parents just never did anything for themselves because they were making sure that we were good. Coming from a home that's a scarcity mindset, you know, and coming into this business and realizing, oh, there's no limit on what you can make, is enough for me to say that they deserve to have what they should have had, you know? And looking at someone like Greg, my stepdad, which is my dad, to be at everything that I had growing up, every event, you know, pulled money, I don't know from where, because right now in Herbalife, I'm making more than my parents combined. And understanding that, like, I don't even know how we were taken. So for me, he actually has heart disease. My parents are in a lot of medical debt because he's had heart attacks for the past 10 years. Understanding that I can, the faster I make it in Herbalife, basically, the faster I can make the income to be able to give back to them to have their dream home before my dad dies. Because I don't know. Every day I wake up, if my mom calls me, I don't even want to answer the phone because I'm scared. I'm scared that it's going to be that he's in the hospital or something's happening. And so, you know, the faster I go, the faster I can do it. I live, it's like, you know, everyone says that they have those fears. Well, I live in a fear that he's going to pass away before I can do it. You know, and that's a scary thought to have. So, you know, he's been doing really great lately. He's been really working on his health, and he hasn't had a heart attack in a while, thank the Lord. But, you know, you just never know. And last year, actually, in my second cut of Global Expansion Team, my grandma passed away. And, you know, they say when in cuts, life really does happen. And it came out of nowhere. She wasn't sick, and she was my best friend. She helped raise me along with my mom and my dad, and she was my best friend. And she passed away very unexpectedly in our second cut of Global Expansion Team, and it broke me. And, you know, I think that, you know, understanding that she's watching over me every single day, I just want to make her proud too. You know, there's so many different things, but a huge part of my life besides my family has become my team. And, you know, understanding the whys for all my team and how great the people on my team are. They're some of the best people I've ever met. Like, I learn from them every single day, and they are everything that I'm not. Because for me, relationships have been something I've really had to work on. But all my frontline, guess what? They are all the best relationship-driven people I've ever seen. They inspire me every day to, like, really connect with people. And, you know, one of my downline, Andrea, I think she's on the call. She's actually, you know, she's from Mexico, and her parents live in Mexico, and they live in a bad part of Mexico, and she wants to get them a house in the United States. Now that's a big why. And, you know, for me to be able to help her grow to the woman she gets to be able to do that is huge. And so I can't quit. I've got people on my team that need to eat. And it's crazy how your team really does become your why. So there's a lot of other reasons, but that's a huge part of it for me. So.
Well, first of all, thank you for just being like super transparent through that entire thing, because you didn't have to go and tell us all of that, but you did. So thank you for just opening up for us. It was definitely, Erica just said it, it was definitely a blessing for you to just open up with us like that. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I have one last question, and this is just for all my money-motivated people. I just want to know what the first month in Herbalife looked like for you, and then the highest month.
So my first month, I don't even know what I made in retail, to be honest with you. My first month, my check was $34, I believe. I saved my first 6 months of checks for a rainy day, and I lived off retail for the first 6 months because I heard, I think Gary did that or someone did that. So I decided to do the same thing. And then, you know, I had 2 years left in college. So I said I have to be making a full-time income by the time I graduate so I can survive. And so last month was actually our best month ever. So guys, our org ended around 17,000 in December. Get this, for those of you that understand numbers, because I'm just a numbers-driven person, we ended at 17,000 in December, and last month in January, we ended over 37,000, which is a 20,000 volume point jump, and it came out of nowhere. When I say it came out of nowhere, it came out of nowhere. We weren't even buckling down for our first cut of 2.5. Like, it was like the last week and the org just really started moving. And I said, maybe we should like really get serious about pushing for this cut because I think it may happen. And we were literally like 4,000 short of our first cut. And that increase, my check doubled. My team's checks were insane. Sean's check was the highest it's ever been. He's my upline. And I don't know what our bonuses are yet, but I'm sure when it comes in last month, I'll have made over $5,000. So it's crazy. I honestly, that's the highest month I've ever made in Herbalife. To be honest with you, I don't even know what to do with that income. I said, let me go get an accountant for my taxes. That's what I said. I was like, let me not get crazy with money. Let me get smart, so it's definitely a blessing. But it's weird how it's the first check that I've been like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So if you work, it'll come for sure, guys. If a 21-year-old can do it, you can do it. You just got to make the decision. As soon as you make the choice to just go out there and say, I'm going to make it happen and let no one stop you. A big motivator for me, not just was my why, was my big motivator for me was also people think I'm young. They're not ready for someone young to be able to do it. I said, I'm going to go figure this out. And honestly, it was a motivator. It's almost like, I don't want to be cliche, but people that don't believe in you, it does motivate you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was pretty insane. So.
I love how excited you just got when you started talking about those numbers and that jump, and then you started talking about that $5,000, and you was like, and the bonus ain't even come yet. But it was really, I was listening to you, but I was really more so watching your excitement because it was earned. Everything that you pushed through, everything. Look, we can have this conversation outside of here, but I just want to say again, thank you so much. I'll share my major takeaways from the call just real quick before we close out. Actually, just one major thing is the last thing that Rachel said too. You can't climb a mountain with people on your back holding you down. Would it be easier to climb a mountain with people next to you in your circle, firing you up the entire time that you're on the way up there? All this positive talk, just really pushing you, or would it be easier to do it with people on your back? Much easier being surrounded around the positive community. That was the last thing I wrote down, and it was just like a fire tip to me because of, just your circle of influence being so very important. And you touched on it 3 different times. So that was my major takeaway. I just want to say thank you so much for saying yes at the last minute for coming on here and just sharing your story with us, pouring into us. And just for everything that you've been through to get to where you are now. And the fact that you made those numbers go like that, I can't wait to see what happens this month, because February beats January. So this month and then so on. For everybody who's on the call, all 61 of us, I hope that everyone has an amazing week. Don't just listen to this call and let her fire you up for right now. Actually go out and apply it to your life and to your day-to-day. And just be open, like she said when she started off, open to everything that she just said. You don't know it all. None of us know it all. Let's all just be coachable and actually go and apply this to our life. February beats January. February beats January. February beats January. I hope that everyone has an amazing week. If you could unmute us all so that we could go ahead and say thank you.